and figure out. All right, so do we have any questions yet?
No.
All right, so what I have here is the TransPro Plus Cap Press. This is one of our new line of cap presses, and it has a few different features on it. We have obviously the interchangeable platen, which is super easy, just pops right off. We also have the cap hold down kind of lever here. So when you put the cap on, you push it down and it holds your cap in place. We also have a digital time and temperature readout that is through here, and your pressure knob, which is right down here. It always gets me, but if you turn it to the right and you're decreasing pressure, turn it to the left and you're increasing because you're raising it up. So little kind of thought there, but and this is a manual heat press. So you close it and then you'll open it up, and my cap just fell on the floor, and then you're good to go. Now, with this press, you do get a standard cap platen, which is this one. From this, you can always order one of the interchangeable options that we have. I have 3 up here. We have 1 more, but we just didn't have that one in stock. So I have the 3 other ones here. And these are really good when you're printing the different style caps. So this one is the baby cap platen. I like to think of this one is great for like a visor. So if you have like that small thin visor, you can just lay that right on top and it'll just print where you need it. Then we have I have a cheat sheet over here, so I apologize. This is the low crown. So this is really good for like this style cap where it's the non-structured. And then you can just kind of use that. Now, you can also use the non-structured hats on your standard platen. Your big difference is the size of your transfer that you're printing on. So if you're only printing a transfer that is this height, then you'd be fine for this one. But if you want a larger design, then you'd want that larger platen area. So things to kind of keep in mind of is what style hat you're printing on, what transfer type you're printing, or like what size transfer, and then that would determine the platen that you need. And then we have our larger oversized platen. This one is really great for these foam trucker hats because they have such a large area to print on that you'd be able to really kind of cover that and get at full coverage there. All right, now let's go ahead and I'm going to show you what each one looks like on the platen before we kind of press one up. So this is our standard platen, and I'm going to go ahead and put one of our non-structured hats on, and you'll see, maybe I can turn it this way a little bit so it's awkward for me, but maybe you can see a little bit better. So with all the hats, they have like that, I don't know, is it like a sweatband kind of thing, I guess? So you want to pull that up and then lift this up first. Pull that up and you're going to just position it right so that this sweatband is off the platen. Rotating. There we go. It would help if I didn't get stuck. Okay, so this is going to be off the platen, and then you're going to tug on the back side of your hat and push the lever down. Now this cap is nice and flat on here, and we're going to get a really good press with it. Now, let me rotate it back around here. Just getting my exercise too, lifting all these things. Okay, so I feel really good with this standard platen. Now, if my design was not that large and I wanted to go ahead to get a little bit of a better fit on this smaller one, I think that's the one, yeah. You can kind of see how that fits as well. Again, get your sweatband out, pull it down, and then close it tight. You can see how that actually fits just a little bit better, and that's great. You can either use a standard one, or you can go ahead and get that extra interchangeable platen as well, and then you can, fit that. The only difference is the height. A larger design, go ahead and use that standard platen. If you have a little smaller design, like this design, if I was going to press coffee across, oh, that's upside down. That would print totally fine. I have plenty of space. Now, what gets tricky with caps is when you have these structured hats that already have, you know, without any assistance, it already has this kind of, you know, positioning of how the hat should be. This, I'm going to put it on the standard platen so you can see. When you position this on a standard platen, you're going to notice that there's going to be a bump. No matter what you do, you're never going to get this platen or this cap to not have this bubble or bump. And why that is because the way that the hat is structured, that platen's not filling up that area. So we need something to fill it in. And no matter what platen you get, the structured hats may need some help. And that's where it comes the pillow. This 4x4 little pillow is great to kind of fill in that gap. I'm going to put it right here. It's okay that it goes over a little bit. I'm going to push it towards the back. And this is not. It works so much better when I wasn't live. There we go. All right, so now you have it positioned how you want it. I don't have that gap anymore. What you see here, that bounce or that pocket, is the pillow itself. So when I close and lock it, I'm all filled in now. My pillow has definitely filled in that gap. So when I go to press, I won't crease or won't be weird on my hat. I'm gonna get a nice smooth pressing surface. Okay, so any questions so far before we go and press some hats? All right. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, we're gonna do, now, the great thing about hats is that we have those 5-panel and we have 6-panel. So I have the 5-panel here, and that does not have a seam. So you'll want 5-panel hats when you do like stock transfers or any type of custom plastisol transfer. You want to use a 5-panel hat. You don't want to use a 6-panel because that is going to crease your transfer in the middle, causing it to crack. So stock transfers or plastisol transfers, absolutely 5-panel hat. That's your best option. If you're working with a thick vinyl, like glitter or flock or something that has some kind of substance to it, then you can go ahead and press on a 6-panel hat. That way, when you cross over that gap or that seam, the vinyl is going to just carry right over and it shouldn't crack for you. Same thing when you order Supacolor custom transfers. They can also be pressed right across the seam on a 6-panel, so that way you're not restricted as to what type of cap you can use. All right, so we're going to go ahead. We'll do the vinyl one first, and then we'll go ahead with the Supacolor. So I'm going to use the non-structured hat. I'm going to push my cap hold down. I'm going to kind of push down my sides. And this is using the standard platen that I think is going to be just fine. And I'm going to just check my pressure. We're a little light, so let me just go ahead and increase that just a bit. So to the left. Too much. All right, that should do it. And you're just gonna position your, so this is the glitter vinyl, so I'll just position that right in the center where I'd want it. And the only thing that you have to make sure is that where you want to put the vinyl is where your platen is. So it has to be supported underneath. So you can't go too far. You have to make sure your platen is right there for you. All right, that looks good to me. And if your vinyl is kind of like sticking up like this, you can always use transfer tape to hold it down. And do I have some, I do. This would kind of just, sort of just help it stay where you want it as you sort of position your hat a little bit more. Okay, we're gonna go for it. That looks good to me. We're gonna close and lock, and I have it on about 15 seconds for vinyl, so I'm at 320 degrees for 15 seconds, and we're at that medium to heavy pressure range. All right, pull that up, peel that back, and perfect. There we go. And your hat is complete. And it looks great. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and let's do a Supacolor transfer. So Supacolor can be anywhere from a 290 to 320 range, all depending on the type of hat and the material that you're using. So I'm gonna stay at that, let me lower it down to about 315-ish. Okay, and then I'm still gonna stay at about, you can be anywhere from 8 to 15 seconds. So I'm gonna go to about 10 seconds and then I'm gonna open it up. So we're gonna go ahead with this other style cap. Again, this is a 6-panel hat, so it's really great, especially for Supacolor, that I can bridge right over that. All right, and this is again the standard cap platen that I'm using, and I'm just gonna I can see already that I've got a little bit of pocket. So what I wanna do is just kind of tug. It's really just tugging your cap around to fit the platen. Let's go ahead and we'll swap this platen out for the smaller one, because this is a smaller design, and I think it'll actually fit better on this one. Okay, there we go. And see, that had no pocket. So if you can, I don't know if everybody saw that, but so this has a nice smooth surface. It looks really good. That if you did have a pocket, what'll happen is when you go to close it, it'll actually crease the hat and then cause issues for your design. So you always have to have that smooth, even pressing surface. So we're good to go. I am going to place my design right where I think it should be. Actually, let me just make sure I'm centered. So we're just gonna crease it and line that right up on the seam so I am centered on it. Again, if you need tape, you can go ahead and use it. I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna close and lock. I got really nervous that I wasn't centered. All right, we're gonna go. All right, now this is gonna go ahead for about that 12 seconds. And then I'm just gonna lift it up ahead of the timer so I can get that 10 seconds. There we go. And just peel back and quick. Oh, my little E flopped up, which is okay. Just put it back down, reposition. The great thing with Supacolor is that if it does come up while you peel, just lay it back down where you need it to be. You're going to cover with a nonstick sheet, which I have one right here for myself. Bit of parchment, cover with your parchment. I'm just gonna increase the pressure just a little bit. Close and lock, and we're just gonna press it again. And then that's gonna actually lock in the transfer if it did happen to peel up in that one spot. All right, and now it's perfect. Okay, ta-da! So 2 hats, super quick, super easy. You have your Supacolor designs, again, that can bridge right across the seam, along with your thick vinyl that can also bridge across your seam. And then for your other hats, you'll definitely want to use a pressing pillow to support that with any of your platens. And don't forget your foam trucker hats, always best for that oversized platen. Okay, do we have any questions?
Will the interchangeable platens work with any of the other TransPro cap presses?
So these are only designed for the TransPro Plus Cap Platen, or Cap Press. Sorry. So these that I have here, and they also are labeled TransPro Plus Cap Platen and what size it is. So these will only work for this model. And you have 2 other cap models that we offer. We have the TransPro Cap Press, that's the blue model, and that's semi-auto. That does not offer interchangeable platens. And then we also have the Quad Cap Press, which includes those interchangeable platens with the purchase. But so this is the only one that has the interchangeable options as additional purchases. All right, any other questions?
I think we're good.
All right. Well, thank you all so very much for watching. And if you have questions, make sure you send us an email or give us a call. We'll be happy to help you out. And we'll see you here in 2 weeks. Bye, everybody.